Good evening. Welcome to another edition of Friday Night Live. This one is in the international break. And we've got some bits and pieces for you tonight. We also have a new face. It feels a bit like X Factor tonight. I don't know which one, me or Omar, is Simon Cowell. But yeah, hey, we'll go from there. So I am joined by my faithful co-host, the one and only Omar. Good evening, Omar. How you doing? Can you introduce our new member, because I've just realised I need to plug us in, otherwise I've got a bit of a lag.
All right, mate, no problem. Hello, chat. Mickey, you're more like probably Louis Walsh than Simon Cowell anyway, mate. It's just say that one anyway.
I can hear you.
I know you can. Hello to the chat as well. International break, but yeah, we've got Frankie with us today, first time. You've listened to us a few times, well, mate, and joined in the comments. Hello, mate. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Yourself?
Very well, thank you. I think we're obviously international break this week, so we'll say hello to the chat very quickly whilst Mickey's getting things sorted. But hello to Carl, hello Peter, hello Chris, hello Dan, hello Ryan, and hello to Jay. Hello, mate. Yeah, can we get happy 65th birthday to Mickey, because it was his birthday yesterday, everyone. So let's get happy birthday
60?
to Mickey. That weren't me. That was.
I weren't that old. Fucking
64.
Yeah, 64. Yeah. But no, happy birthday to Mickey Fiesta in the chat, everyone. But yeah, obviously, it's international breaks. England's playing tomorrow. Anyone watching it? I mean, I don't know. I might swerve it. I tried to get a ticket for it, but yeah. Do you watch a lot of the England games, Frankie, mate?
There's nothing else on, mate. I'll have a little look, but half the time they are a bit dull, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, we've got a new manager,
I guess, but
yeah. Lee Carsley is the interim manager, isn't he? So I mean, it'll be interesting to see what happens tomorrow. But we've obviously got. We'll see. We'll talk about various bits and bobs. Mickey, mate, are you sorted? You good to go? No, we've lost Mickey. Ever the professionals we are. But yeah, Mickey's birthday was yesterday. Well, I'll get the messages in there. Say happy birthday to him. I guess what we'll do is we'll talk in a bit, because it's international break. I think it's a good time to take stock and talk about the season so far, but also, I guess, weigh up, how we feel like we've been. Obviously, last Saturday's result, great win. Obviously, we've done a Sunday night call in with Jay last week on Twitter. Mickey, you with me? You back?
I think so. No,
you're very delayed still, mate. You're very delayed.
Yeah, very delayed, and I don't know why. Let me just figure it out.
Well, Frankie, as your new face, mate, what's your thoughts of the season so far, mate? And what have you made of the transfer window in general?
Can we do the intro first?
All right, then. Well, now you're ready to fucking do that, then. God. He's not even ready to do that, you see.
I am. It's just that my fucking buttons are fucking hell, mate.
Technical issues.
Anytime.
Mate, I've got no idea. I'm still lagged. Are you logged on as the main one, Omar? Yeah,
I think so. We'll see what happens, mate. You gotta go through it.
You can see comments, can't you?
Yes, I can see comments, mate. We'll join us back in a bit. Well, you sort yourself out. But Frankie, I asked you the question just before we done the intro there, mate. But what have you made of the season so far, pal? How have you rated us and obviously the transfer window in general, pal?
Season so far, I mean, you'd be lying if you said it was a massive positive, wouldn't you? I guess 2 defeats and draw and a win. But I think the actual performances have been all right, haven't they? And the Sheffield Wednesday feels a bit more probably what we have deserved out of results rather than the defeat. So I know it's mad to look at the league table this early, but being 15th feels a lot nicer than being 21st, doesn't it? Going to national break. So, I can't complain on that front, really. I think the football itself's been all right. It's just some results haven't been fantastic. The window, who knows? I think you won't know this window until 12, 18 months' time, once you've actually seen them all bed in and grow a little bit, develop. But on the face of it, it looks all right. Obviously, losing Fleming's disappointing, but 10 players in, I think it was in the end.
Yeah.
A lot of youth in there, and I think you can see in Jimmy's message what the tactic is and what they're going for. So, yeah, I mean, get behind them, I guess. Give them a bit of time. Hopefully, it all starts sort of falling into place.
What would you make of the tactic that we're going for now? Obviously, I've kind of banged jump a little bit, saying, you know, invest in the youngsters. It's clearly what the message is. We'll read the chairman's statement in a bit, and he's chairman the letter to the fans. But what do you make of it as a fan? Like, you obviously, he's using terminology like we're going to have to buy and sell our valuable assets and convert these players. He mentioned a few youngsters, I think Kamal Grant, not Tom Leahy, Alfie Massey, and also SA. He's saying about, you know, they've signed new contracts, we're trying to back them, and we're trying to generate these kind of players that are going to give us revenue one day. But with the clear intention almost to say we might sell him one day, because obviously we need to reinvest and buy and sell players as such. What's your thoughts as a fan on that one? And I'll put it to the chat as well. But yeah, what do you make of that, mate?
It's nothing new in the world of football, was it? We've seen Brighton, Brentford do similar things in the past, and it's really worked for them. And I guess that's what we're after. But you know, look at Derby. He obviously wanted to get a lot of young players in, maybe for a different reason, but they wanted to play young players. That didn't work out. Southampton, when they got relegated to League One, I said a really young squad, wanted to bring them through. Didn't work out short term, but then long term, sort of paid dividends, didn't it? I guess, and people like Lallana and Schneiderlin went on for fortune. So we've got to do something. I think we'd hit the cap of where we were going to get to recruiting the way we were, without like a long term strategy, just going for the here and now. So doing something is a bit more sort of systemic, with sort of pathways for youth and selling players on for money. Club's got something in it, so it's worth a go. Yeah.
No, mate, you're right. I think it's a change of tacts. Obviously, like, you know, for example, Fleming leaving, I think, you know, we had the situation with Jed Wallace, didn't we, a couple of seasons ago, where he left for a free transfer. And you know, I think you need, if you've got your key assets, you know, players that are going to come in and, you know, do well for you and have that kind of monetary value, it's hard to not get attached to them, isn't it? Because like with Fleming, like, I was gutted to see him go, because, you know, for 2 seasons, despite last season not hitting the high standard he set the first season, he was still statistically our best player. I think he was top goal scorer still last season too. And you're kind of like, do you want to let go of someone that's going to weaken you? And I think that's kind of where Harris comes from with a lot of what he said in the press about it. But you can't get too attached. You've got to think, right, you're going to get X, Y, and Z for these players, reinvest it. You could say we've got to save between 6 and 8 million for Fleming. I don't know the exact figure, but you then reinvested in it. You signed a Serbian, you took a bit of risk there. You've got to kind of take that risk, haven't you, to try and speculate, to accumulate, I suppose, in a sense.
As long as it's an educated risk, I think it's fine. And I think the downside of that is when you make decisions like Edwards, that was probably in a similar sort of tack in terms of go younger, much more development, a bit more modern in terms of sort of ideas. But it wasn't an educated risk. He had no experience. We put him at the wrong time, and he fell flat on his face, really. So as long as it's like calculated and it's strategic, let's see how we get on. I mean, I think with Fleming as well, it is a massive loss. I mean, I'd be much more concerned if we lost him 12 months ago.
Yeah.
And the reality is, good teams can't have one player doing 40% of your offensive output. It doesn't make sense. We need more. So we need to have a situation where you've got more SA, Coburn, the Serbian guy, all numbers up. And if one of them then gets injured, leaves, recalled by Borough, it ain't gonna completely derail you, which Fleming would have.
No, 100%. I think Chris Brown's comment here saying you need to play them and to put them in the window and get any value off them. I mean, obviously, SA started all 4 games this season as well in the league as well. I think it's a clear intent. I mean, I'll read quickly some of the comments I'll read the letter in full. I'm sure everyone's seen it, but if you haven't, on the website, the chairman done a little post yesterday, a letter from the chairman. He obviously thanked the fans and for their kindness and thoughts and showing us to Mark Sarkic and his family and friends. He went on to talk about the transfer window, obviously, because it was kind of, I didn't know what to expect about what this would be in there, because sometimes you get club updates as such, but it was purely about the transfer window. He went on to say, with the closing of the transfer window, I wanted to provide an update on the club and how we are looking to build consistency, sustainability, and success. The success of this process is built upon the shoulders of our legacy squad, players who are the standard bearers of what it means to be Millwall. Tough, determined warriors who fight for points week after week and have done so year after year. In advance of the transfer window, we sat down and identified our top targets, players who could not only make a day one impact to the squad, but also build long-term value on the pitch as well as financially for themselves and the club. Identifying these players well in advance allowed us to methodically pursue them in the hope of striking the best agreements for both club and player. This is not a zero-sum game. We obviously need to manage costs, but we also want players to understand that they will have an important role within the club, and we will provide them training and the opportunity to increase their skills as well as their overall value. I'll stop right there. So, like, he's talked about, identifying players we wanted. He said, obviously, we got a lot of the top targets we wanted, and obviously we pursued the likes of Coburn, for example, all summer. I imagine Ivanovic was a player that we pursued for most of the window as well, and managed to get him. I think also Jensen was a goalkeeper we wanted. So we've got a lot of top targets there, haven't we, as well, Frank?
Aziz was linked early as well, wasn't he, by that Nigerian?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So then, but also what was interesting today is talking about developing these players as well. So, like, I look at Harris, and this is a bit critical from me. I love Harris to bits, but he doesn't strike me as a coach that's going to better players. I could be wrong, but you're talking about like day-to-day work with players. I suppose he can mold them into what's be success at Millwall, but then it's like, can he on the training field instill certain styles of play? Or, I don't know what you think about that. What's your thoughts on that?
I think I'm leaning towards agreeing with you. I wouldn't naturally say that's Harris's sort of forte, and that's his strengths. But I mean, Esse would make a liar both of us when every time he walks down to the pitch.
Yeah.
He's played every game. He seems getting better every game. So there's something right there. And on the flip side, look at someone like Dan Kelly. You think of, would it really hurt to bring Dan Kelly on against Wednesday? If you're being particularly, I know it's picky, but if there was one negative from that game, you'd have liked to see him get at least 10 minutes, like one that was 4 or 5 when he went to 3-0.
Yeah.
But I mean, he'll put the mindset in, he'll put the mentality in, and whether then someone can come in and sort of add a little bit of magic at the end and a bit more tactical now, maybe. But I don't think there's anyone better to give him grounding and the foundations to succeed. He probably is the man for it. Whilst I'm critical of Harris at times, but he is probably bang on for that.
Yeah, I think what I mean by that is, I look at Edwards, and he was a youth coach for years and years and years, developed players, younger players, targeted. I think Harris will make players be ready-made to play at Millwall, at the Den. He'll get players up for it. He'll get players that will track back, look at Watmore on the weekend, look at Esse on the weekend. You're right to point them out. I just wonder technically whether he's going to develop these players. I don't know if that's the long term. He's only got a year left on his deal, hasn't he? But we'll have to wait and see. I'll just finish what this says here anyway. The window is short. Deals need to be made rapidly, but not in haste. Sometimes days or weeks go by without a signing, and it feels like nothing is moving in our direction. Then just as suddenly agreements are signed and announcements are made, this past transfer window followed the pattern. However, I am pleased that this has been one of our most successful windows in terms of acquiring our priority targets. During the window, we also were represented with a substantial bid from Burnley for Zian Fleming. Zian had 2 great seasons for the club, and his reputation on the pitch as well as being a leader in the team did not go unnoticed. In order for Millwall to remain financially sustainable, we must be willing to part with some of our best players, as painful as that may be to the club and its supporters. Again, this is not a zero-sum game. Millwall receives substantial compensation for a respected player, and Zian moves on to a highly regarded club with Premier League experience. Mickey, you're back now, yeah?
I think I am.
You seem to be all right. I'm just reading through. JB's piece, JB Junior.
I just didn't want to. I didn't want to read it. That's why I went off. I thought it's easier for me not to read it because I'll get loads of words pronounced wrong and everything else. But yeah.
Do you want me to finish reading it, or I'll finish reading it?
Yeah, no, go on. Yeah, go on. Finish it.
The final piece of this process concerns our homegrown talent. 2 of our future stars signed multi-year contracts during the window, Romain Esse and Alfie Massey. Other future stars like Kamal Grant are honing their skills on loan and ultimately will return to the club with more experience, ready to join the first team. Romain, Alfie and Kamal are all products of our academy system, and they continue to grow in ability both technically and tactically. It's exciting to think that they and other academy graduates will contribute to Mill's success on the pitch as they develop further. It's been just over a year since the untimely death of my father, John Berylson, and I'm determined as ever to carry on his vision and legacy for Millwall. What I've outlined above, a consistent process for identifying, acquiring, and developing talent, and when the opportunity presents itself and makes sense for the club and player to sell on, will allow Millwall to compete at a high level as well as be financially sustainable going forward. He went on to then thank the 8,000 season ticket holders. So we'll pick the bones of that, Mickey. You mentioned the youngsters. I said to Frankie just then. Obviously, getting Esse tied down to a new deal and Alfie Massey. It's interesting he's name dropped them, but also mentioning the academy because I've banged the drum for years and years about having a clear pathway through, and also he's talking about being a selling club. So, what's your thoughts on that, Mickey? Because obviously, it's never nice to hear us being a selling club, but as I said, Frankie said as well, you need to speculate to accumulate sometimes, don't you, mate?
Yeah, I think we've always been a selling club. we've just never been a selling club for profit. And I think that that's the difference between how we were and where we are now. And I think it's good. I think it's reassuring that actually James wants to carry on his dad's legacy, wants to carry on where his dad lifted off. And I think it's good. You know, it's nice to hear that all the top targets we've gone after, we've got. I mean, again, you know, I hate to say it, but when I was found on the board, it was something what I didn't want to go because I wanted to know about didn't want to know about the transfers to such. And also it just, at the time, there was loads of concerns with leaks and moles and all this, and I didn't want to be wrapped up in all of that, so I didn't do it. But every pre-season, after the season ends, there's always a meeting between obviously the CEO, the transfer person, and the manager, and everything else, and they establish who their targets are and who they want to go after, and then basically, you know, between the end of the season and the start of the transfer window, they look, and obviously the players go away and people just start looking and seeing what the chances are and all of that lot. And then they go after it. And it looks as if this year we've actually gone after the targets and we've got the first ones on the target list rather than, oh, well, we can't get that one. So we're going basically on to the second, third, fourth or fifth. So, yeah.
I think it's interesting, though. Like, I think you said it, Frankie, earlier about being calculated risks. There's no guarantee in football that these players are going to actually materialise. You can be as calculated as possible, be very set thinking these players are going to do it. I suppose you're putting a lot of trust into the likes of Steve Gallen to get it right, ain't you, mate? And it's like, that is a lot of pressure. And it's like, how do you identify someone that can actually materialise it? So far, obviously, Saturday's game, and there's a lot of statistics going around this week about our first 4 games and how we've shaped up. I'm quite positive. I'm normally about Millwall anyway, but you're never going to be 100% bang on with these players, are you? And you mentioned Edwards. It's never guaranteed when you pick someone. You think on paper, yeah, it looks good. So you have to wait until you see it. Proof's in the pudding, as they say.
I'd rather take a gamble with the Serbian guy for $2.5 million than I would another Nisbet who's a bit older with cracked knees. That even if he does well, ain't going to be worth more than the money you spent on him. Yeah. So if you're going to take a gamble, at least have go for someone that's going to potentially pay off rather than somebody who's sitting there buying them at their peak sort of thing and they're only going to go one direction.
Yeah, I think one thing I was concerned about, one second, Mickey, one thing I was concerned about, I remember speaking to Mickey about it a few times, is you're signing these players that are young. Sometimes you need players that are here to be doing it here and now. But then I suppose we've got the likes of Honeyman in there, the likes of Cooper at the back. Tanganga's been around the block a few times, you know, George Saville. There's players that have been around the block, Leonard as well. So it's trying to find the right balance, isn't it? And it's just trying to, you know, find the middle ground with that, really, I suppose. Mickey, what would you want to say, mate?
I just think I think it's nice that we're prepared to, you know, take a bit. And I mean, all the people what were going, oh, well, you know, they're unknown and all that. Well, Fleming was unknown before he came to us.
True, so. Yeah.
I said, yeah, you know, Fleming was unknown. I mean, you know, go back in the day, Cahill was unknown. Do you know what I mean? Okay, we didn't spend that much for him, but it's, you know, it's still there, isn't it? You know, I think some days if you don't spend the risk, you don't take the risk, you don't get the rewards, do you?
No, it's true.
So, you know, it is what it is. So, yeah, we'll see. So, yeah, I think it's been good. Sorry, I'm trying to do something as I'm doing.
You can't multitask, but I'll move on the subject anyway. I'll go back to the youngsters, Frankie, mate. I think obviously we mentioned about you know, the youngsters getting new deals and stuff. I think obviously what I will say is obviously you've seen the under 18s, under 21s win tournaments in their divisions and in their regions in the last couple of years. So there is clear evidence there that if they're given the opportunity, perhaps they can come in and, you know, set the world alight in a sense.
Yeah, I think the most you can expect from any age group like that is like what one or two. I mean, even if you look at top clubs like the likes of City and stuff, they don't get that many actually then break through into any level of professional, a lot of like Premier League football. It might drop down a couple of leagues, but if we can get one or two out of there, I mean, it's paid for itself, and it 10 times over. Yeah. So if we sell, let's say, 15 million now, That's our academy paid for.
Did you
for
say 50 or 15?
15.
I was going to say.
If 50 would be nice.
You never know. You never know.
I mean, that's the thing. I mean, there's been lots of rumour about Esse for the last year or so. I think it's fantastic that we've managed to sign him on an extended deal on the pretense that actually the club's looking at, one, they've basically created a pathway through and he's come from the academy and he's now playing.
Mhm.
That then opens so many more opportunities for the next lot of youth coming through. And then all of a sudden, you've now going, well, look, we want you. Come play for us. You can go forward.
7 miles off was unknown. Yeah, the Hoff was unknown.
Yeah, and he was shit. But Casper was unknown as well.
Sorry?
Casper was unknown as well.
Yeah, as Carl says, Casper was unknown. It's true. You got to take the risk. That's why you dip into the foreign market. And the last couple of summers, Mill have dipped into the foreign market. We've had success with Fleming. Casper Dunor obviously had his best game, I think, so far this season last Saturday, and hopefully he'll keep kicking on. I think without the ball, I sometimes worry about Dunor, but I think on the weekend, him and Sab were incredible in the middle of the park. So I
agree with you. I think what you've got to look at as well and go, look, right, the board, if you go back to beginning of last season, unfortunately we'd lost JB. The club was in a bit of turmoil. With a big shock, everything else. We got through last season. Then, unfortunately, before this season, we lost Matic. And then all of a sudden, it's like we're having to go out and get keepers, what we didn't know we were going to get. We ended up getting rid of 3 senior people within the club, what no one saw coming. Mm-hmm. We've now basically replaced those 3 people. We've suddenly replaced the keepers. And we seem to now be moving ahead. And we're moving ahead rapidly. Yes, there does seem to be lots of people moaning about, oh, well, Gallon's this and Gallon's that. And we'll come on to that bit in a minute once we finish with this bit, onto the next segment. But to me, I just think that the board seems to have the right idea. I mean, Omar, they must have been listening to the shows over the last couple of years, because you banged on and on about, we need a director of football. We need an identity as a club. And we need to be given pathway to youth. And we've been just banging on about this. And then all of a sudden now we're going that way. So, Steve Gallen, Mark Fairbrother, or, James Berylson, or wherever, anyone watching, thank you very much for listening. Omar will be really pleased that you've taken on board his ideas. So, yeah.
Couple tickets every game, I'll be happy.
Yeah, that's it. But I think it's exciting that actually in a league what's really highly competitive, that we're now looking at youth we've got who could potentially return big money, buying youth, buying younger players. I mean, I think we bought 4 players or so what are sub 25. So again, it's unknown. Normally we buy players 28, 29, 30. And hopefully Harris moves forward with the youth and starts playing and trusting the youth rather than keep going, I've got a 32-year-old Bradshaw who's basically strapped up to stop him falling apart, but I'm going to play him 3 games a week and he's my man, and you're like, mate, come on. It's not the future. The future is youth, not a bloke who's, not even that great a striker, really. He's an average striker who, Christ, Watmore scored 2 less than than he scored last season, and he's not even an official striker as such. So, yeah.
Watmore's on fire, mate. Go on, mate.
Bradshaw's also one of the more successful ones. He's still not great, but when he did some of the likes of fucking Luke Freeman and Balak, and so there's plenty of failure.
Mate. We'll come on to those players and that, I think, on the second part where we'll have a bit of favourites and all that lot. But yeah, I mean, Bobby's in
anyway. I just wanted to talk about the end of the letter from JB Jr. mentioning about obviously only 8,000 season ticket holders. I think that's a drop from last season. Am I not mistaken? People can correct me in the chat if they want, but only 8,000 season ticket holders, that feels lower than last season. Mickey, is it? I think it is.
I don't think it was a lot more. I think it might be. There might have been a little bit. I don't think it is massive. I mean, I can fact check in a minute.
It took me back a bit. Try and find out maybe if you can, because I think that is down on last season. Maybe not significantly down, but I don't know. I think obviously last season was a struggling season overall, and then we had that swan song finish with Harris. So I can understand if people got turned away a bit, or I don't know. I think, but last season I'm pretty sure we had 9,000 plus. I could be wrong, but I remember seeing that being branded around. So that is quite a drop off. Yeah, look, Daily Mail says 9.5 last season. So obviously that's not for fact check for sure, but I think we had more last season. Yeah, 9.5 last season. So that's significant. That's significant drop off.
Do you reckon that'd be impacted by the new Sky deal though? TV kickoff times at all hours, and the season was shit. And I think the early bird finish early this year.
Yeah,
I think
really early.
Right.
Yeah, really early.
All them things probably tally up to people thinking, "Oh, fuck this off this year."
Yeah, so that 9,500 down to 8,000 is a drop off. So last season was a record, the Daily Mail says there. So yeah, look, I think.
But did people buy a season ticket to say thank you to JB? Because people just did it, because they wanted to be there the first game and knew that it was going to be hard work. I don't know. Some people maybe, I don't know, but I don't know. I mean, on what I found there, it's looking at. It's about 500 less than what it was last year.
It's obviously a direct correlation, though, because obviously we think about last game of the season before last was us chasing playoffs. Last season, it was last 5 games to try and stay up. So if you're not playing on the field as well as you should be, or underperforming, then there is obviously a natural correlation, I suppose, with season tickets. Because they froze the prices as well, so it wasn't like that. It was any big price rises or anything per se. But I know you said the early bird finished early, which you're right to say. The last one I wanted to touch on was obviously his comment about continuing his dad's legacy. I'll reiterate what he said. It's been just over a year since the untimely death of my father, and I'm determined as ever to carry on his vision and legacy for Millwall. So he's very committed to the club, isn't he, Mickey? He wants to be a success here. Yeah,
do you know what I read from that is that I think they're two different people. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I spoke to his dad a few times, but I've not spoken to James. I've not met James, so. I was saying that I met him once at the beginning of I think last season or something. I just said sorry for your loss, to be fair, shook his hand outside the ground. But I've not in any way like what I did with his dad, met his dad and stuff, and spoken to him and all that, or got drunk with him like I did with his dad one day. So yeah, that was what I'm saying is that I think they're both committed, and I think that JB Junior, I think he's catching the Millwall bug. Do you know what I mean? I think as we've gone through, I just think that he's now feeling part and parcel of this and thinking that he has a responsibility. I think he's probably a slightly different businessman to his dad, because I don't know if his dad would have been, I think ruthless is probably the wrong word, but I think committed at this is where we're going to probably what his dad was. But I think he's younger, he's more involved in modern things, business, everything else, and he wants the club to be self-sufficient. I mean, and I appreciate that, and I respect that, because how long really can you keep putting 12, 15 odd £million in a year with nothing coming back? Surely it makes sense. We've got the regen, which is slowly getting short. If we can build stuff there, there'd be a little bit of return, not loads. But if we're selling players for money, if we could sell SA for 15 million next season, great. There's all of a sudden there's an income coming back in, which means Mark's not going to JB Junior and saying cap in hand, going, "Oh, can you write me a check for 8 million?" Or we want to sign this player. Can we have some more money? You think this year, what did we do? We paid one and a half for Fleming. We done the buyout deal. We sorted all that out. It was probably, I don't know, a couple of $100,000 or so, maybe if it was 10% of the fee. So we sorted that. We brought in probably about £5 million worth of sales thereabouts. And then all of a sudden, bop, we've sold him for, reported to be about 7. We've wiped our nose, haven't we? Do you know what I mean? We've made profit on him. We've basically sold. We've got a couple of million left over. And come the January window, if we need to make that final push, potentially we're there. We've got a couple of good strikers. We bought the best striker in the league, who Harris doesn't want to play, which is weird. But we can get onto that in a minute if you want. Because there is some bits I want to raise on all the stuff that's been going on recently. But no, I think it's interesting times. I think one thing what we've always said on here, and one thing what I've said, we've obviously having a relationship with obviously John Berylson at the time, and I knew Steve Kavanagh and all that really well, was that the one thing what absolutely always drove me mad was when we looked as if we were getting towards playoffs, we never put that investment in. We never went that final push. It was as if, and I said it on here, it was as if we didn't want to get to the Premiership. We were happy where we were. We were happy in mid-table. We were happy, sniffing at the playoffs, but being a Championship. When a few times over the last few years in the Premiership, that if we on the Championship, if we had gone, let's spend 2 million, let's spend 3 million on that player, and suddenly made a push in January with someone who could score goals, we could have possibly been in a better chance, but we never did. And I think now we possibly could. I think now if there was an opportunity to do it, that we needed to spend to get a player in to help drive us there, I've got faith that JP Junior would possibly do that now. It's in I probably didn't have with the people we've got in charge, Gallen, James Berylson now, than probably what we would have done last season, if I'm honest. I've got more faith this season than I have last season.
I agree with you. I think also the squad itself, I keep saying it's bloated, but it's not. I think it's sufficient for what you want to try and achieve this season. But even like reading the bench out from Saturday, Aziz, Amarku, Hutchinson, Kelly, Langstaff, McNamara, Roberts, Scanlon, and Wintle. Suddenly we've gone from struggling to name a full bench, haven't we? And we've still got injuries. Fleming was injured at the start of the season. Billy Mitchell, Tom Bradshaw. There's absentees there to be seen. But frankly, it's true, isn't it? Like the squad's now, it looks decent. And I suppose I agree with Mick in a sense. I don't know if you do, but like if we are in January and I don't know, we've won one game all season, so I'm not getting carried away. I suppose we will have a go if the opportunity presents itself under Jimmy Belton.
No, 100%, mate. It'll be funny. Do you remember a couple of years back when we were sitting there crying out for a striker in January? Instead, we sold a Phobie, bought in Moore and Ollie Burke. What the fuck were we doing? And we wonder what we miss out. Like, hopefully, we've learned the lessons of the past and we can actually go after a bit more, be attacking the league rather than sort of reacting to what everyone else is doing. But no, I do think the squad's stronger. Sorry.
No. Yeah, no, I agree. I just wonder if James Berylson is like, we're just getting the Prem for 1 year and have a bit of fun. Like we are, do you know what I mean? We don't want to go in the Prem and stay in there. We just want to go in the Prem for 1 year, tear it up, scare the living shit out of the FA and go just treat it with respect for the next 15 years. But
that's his exit plan, anyway.
Yeah, I reckon he's, yeah. You mentioned that, yeah.
I've made my money now. I've made my money back as well, and I'm off.
We get to the Premier. We get to the Premier League. He'll get a big payout. We'll have some rich Arab come in and buy us, and then we'll just be, we'll be signing, the next level of superstar like Messi and everything else.
Here's a question. Because I think I said this last week when we was doing our live stream, which went on for 4 hours, by the way, and the club decided to announce it after we went offline. I reckon they were watching us, didn't you? They're glued to watching us, I think. Anyway, but Shane Coburn is only a loan. I remember saying last week, I think I said to you, Mickey, obviously I'm buzzing we got him, but it's a loan, and I don't think there's any option to buy in there. I'm pretty sure that's been said out there. So the question begs to, if he scored 10 goals between now and January, I don't even know if there's a recall clause or not. I don't know. I imagine Middlesbrough is stupid.
I reckon there probably is. I mean,
there probably is. Middlesbrough won't be stupid here because they're a rival of ours as well, potentially in that scenario. Yeah. If he scores 10, 15 goals between now and January, it could have been £3 million or £4 million, but his price tag goes up to suddenly £8 or £9 million. And Millwall, as much as we're saying we're going to competitive and we'll try and compete, mate, if he hits the ground running and scores it in 10 games, scores 15 goals in 20 games or whatever, we got no chance to sign with a permanent deal, have we?
But the thing is that the thing is, to me, the way I look at it is that if we use him correctly, I mean, I think we wanted to buy, and I think speaking to a Borough lad who does one of these shows, he was saying that, Borough just sort of priced him out. They wanted like 4.5, 5 million. And it was just, it was ridiculous. No one thought he was worth that. And it was just ridiculous. So the loan was agreed to develop and it was better. But to me, I would say, yes, potentially he's only here for a year, but let the Serbian guy, let the Langstaff learn off him and everything else. And then basically you've got a benefit. Once, start playing these guys together and let them start bouncing off each other and the confidence levels. And potentially, if we got 10, 15 goals off all three of them, we'd be fucking, we'd be Prem bound. We're going to the Prem.
I don't dispute that either. You're right, but I just think it stinks of. I don't know if anyone remembers Jason Punchin when he was on loan to us, right? Jason Punchin scored a hat trick against Palace. It was his last game for us, supposedly, and it's been spoken about in podcasts. I think Jacket's referred to it in the past. I think even maybe John Barrelson said something about it before. We had a deal lined up to sign him from Southampton. He scores a hat trick against Palace, and suddenly he's gone back to Southampton. They're like, well, we're not going to let him go now. And I think eventually he went on to Crystal Palace and stuff afterwards, ironically. So the trouble is you're advertising another club's player. But you're right. You're scaling off the short-term benefit to then the long-term. You're ruining.
But we're doing it though.
Sorry?
We're doing it though, aren't we? We've loaned out some of our players.
No, I agree. But obviously, if he was a long-term target of ours, which he was, considering all summer, it's a risk, isn't it? And I'm happy we've got him because he scored the goal on the weekend to get us on our way. I'm not disputing that. And if it was the only way the deal could get done, you'd rather him for a season than not at all. I'm not criticising the club on that. But it's obviously, this is the balance off, isn't it? I mean, Frankie, what do you think? Because obviously, it's a tricky one, isn't it, mate?
Works both ways, I think, mate. I think we didn't sign Puncham, didn't sign Chris Wood because they ultimately did so well. I
try not to mention his name, but thank you, mate.
Yeah. Chris Wood was different. Chris Wood used us.
Yeah, but
either way, mate, he turned up, did a good job, didn't end up signing.
We were never going to sell it. He never wanted to come to us. Never wanted to come to us. No, he fucking didn't. I was fan of the ball.
He might have done. He might be thinking, I might be getting a move here, and then Leicester come in and go, it's 25 grand a week, mate. Off you go.
He didn't want to come. He used us as a way to get, and his agent used us to get more money. So listen, you do it all the time. You do this name just to fucking send me off on a little rant because it is. He was never going to come to us. On one day, we'll get him on the show and we'll ask him outright and let him lie to my face.
I don't know. I think he was keen on the move, but then suddenly he finds out that Leicester, who are chasing promotion to the Premier League, are more likely to get there than us. I don't blame him.
I would say more about agent wanting his fucking 10%, and the more he earned, the better it was. So he used us to go.
His agent was his dad.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Do you know what I mean? It's like Millwall's put a bid in of 1.2, and Leicester comes in with a higher bid and more money. So hey ho. It's happened, and he's not here anymore.
Let Frank finish his point. He's our guest today, mate. Let him finish his point.
We wouldn't have signed Tanganga if he didn't come here on loan for a lovely place. We wouldn't have signed Wallace under the same circumstances. Probably Cooper, probably Saville.
You're right. I think with Coburn, it could be very different though, Coburn, because he could price himself out of the move to us, is my fear. That's all. No?
I don't care as long as he scores 10, 15 goals before he goes.
I think we've got 12 and 19, by the way. If Coburn does the same, there's no chance he's here after January. I'm putting it out there now. Because if he gets 12 and 19, Leeds United might be thinking, we'll take him. We'll spend 8 million on him, get us promoted to the Premier League. Then they'll dish him off. We'll probably get him back on loan the season after. That's how this stuff works, is my point.
He's more likely to have a good first half season, get injured. Let's be honest.
Yeah, true.
So, yeah, we'll see. We've got 7 million in the bank now from Fleming. What's to say we don't sit there in January and go, you know what, fuck it. He's made such an impact. We love the kid.
Nah.
5 million. I don't think we will.
Yeah, but you never know.
This is the option.
I want to, because me and Frankie, I've seen Frankie make some comments on this online over the last few days and whatnot, with like saying to people, fucking calm down and all that. I think
I'm not used to this, by the way. Everyone's agreed with you in the chat.
See?
Chris didn't want to be here. That's from Mark. Mikey.
Mystic Mickey.
Wanted to come to Millwall. So, yeah. And then even Bobby's saying would use us big time. So, mate, you got people agreeing with you.
That's a good point, actually, Chris. I don't know if Coburn is a free
agent. I think he is on a longer term contract.
I think he is on a longer term, yeah. I think they signed, or he is on a. They
wouldn't be asking for $5 million.
No, he's on a 3 year. I think he's on a 3 year contract. I think he signed a 3 year contract last year, I think. But yeah. So yeah, I find it a little bit embarrassing the last couple of weeks with the way Neil's performed in front of the media. And I know that you've posted.
But that's a shock to me. You've got your propaganda against Neil all fucking summer, mate.
No, I haven't. No, it's not propaganda. But listen, right? Is that the thing is, right? I know that the manager and everyone else. So those targets would have been decided. Listen, I understand that Gallen probably put them over the line, but those targets were decided potentially the end of last season, right? Mickey is a hater.
Mickey is a hater. I agree.
I'm not a hater. No, I'm not a hater, right?
He's on a man with one ball. Leave him alone, mate. Come on, mate. Leave Neil Harris alone, mate. He's a legend. Leave the man alone.
I'm not saying.
Leave him alone.
Listen, shut up. I'm not saying he isn't a legend. I'm not taking any of that away. I just think that if there's an issue between him and Gallen or him and anyone else, that's between them. Don't try and galvanize the fans or the media in your favour, especially when, you know, the club's not come out and said anything. Gallen's not come out in front of the press. No one's come out. The only thing we've had in the press is with James, and he's not said it, you know, with James Berylson, JB Jr., whichever. We keep calling him by about 4 different names per one. Is that just for the algorithm, or do you know what I mean? It's possibly, I don't know.
Jimmy,
but
James,
I just think,
JB.
yeah, that's it. JB Jr., yeah, JB, whatever. I just think that if you want to do your dirty laundry, just stop. I mean, just concentrate on the team. Go do what you want to do and deal with it behind the scenes. I think we just needed to, I don't know, I just think we didn't need all of that. I just think that in the Neil Harris that we've known, he's never really done that. And it seems as if, I don't know, it seems as if his toys have been thrown out the pram. And it's like, look, okay, look, I know you were friends with Alex. I know you were friends with Kavanagh. I know you're friends with Billy, etc., etc. Yes, they're not here. Yes, you've got given, you know, now you've been given a professional grown-up who can make player signings rather than, you know, a teenager who's a football manager specialist. You know, and it's like, get on with it. You know, the players are there. I mean, I sat there this is the thing what got me. I sat there in the fans forum, right? Dan Riggs was there as well. Here, sit there and back it up. Neil Harris turned around and said that Langstaff is probably the most natural goal scorer he's ever seen in years, and he should know because he had Morrison, Gregory, and also him, and they're all 3 unknowns. And then all of a sudden he comes out in the papers going, "Well, he come from lower league, he's untested." So fuck were you? So the fuck was Morrison, and so the fuck was Gregory. So why 3 weeks ago did you say in the fans forum in front of the people what were there that you rated Langstaff, and then you've basically played the 32-year-old Welsh has-been instead of the young lad? Do you know what I mean?
He's seen him up close in training and doesn't like what he's got to say, and it's his job as manager to pick a squad, to pick a team that he wants to play. Maybe he just doesn't think he's up to it. Maybe he thinks he needs time to. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he just needs to. But I think with Harris, like he was just clearly frustrated. The things he was saying initially, I do agree, and I said it as well. After the first 2 games of the season, I'm like, all right, Neil, you've made your point now. Like
that's what I'm getting at.
That's my thing. Like I felt like, all right, Neil, you've made your point. Like, and I agree with you. Most of the fans agree with you. He just kept banging the drum,
and that's the bit. But if he'd have come out and said it and then moved forward.
But he's the only one that gets interviewed after games. He's the only one that speaks to media after games. Bells put that message out yesterday night. Great. But aside from that, it's normally Neil that has to address the media, speak to the fans. So I suppose for him, he's just being honest. He's just maybe he was manoeuvring a situation a little bit, and I think we debated if he must have known about the signings and stuff. Okay, fine. But he was just sharing his frustrations. I suppose after you lose 4-3 when you're 3-2 up, you're going to come out and say things you might not mean because you're fucking frustrated and it's the split second after the game. Not to stick up for him too much, but, you know, it happens. He will come out and be frustrated after games. But, I mean, Frank, I'm interested to hear your points, mate. Because you said you and Mickey have been going back and forth. What's your points, mate?
I'm going to start off by saying I do fucking absolutely, like all of you, love Neil Harris as a player.
So do I,
childhood hero growing up. I mean, you can't ever change that fact. But I don't think he's beyond criticism as manager.
Yeah,
some of his comments have been, regardless of his motivations, they ain't been helpful. And I'll not be funny. He come out after Sheffield Wednesday, and in 3 separate interviews, he dug out a recruitment team. One about Fleming, one about never heard of a Serbian guy, never watched him, and the other one on Millwall TV saying it's the most difficult window he's ever had. You don't need to do all three of them things. You won the game 3-0. Shut the fuck up. Let's enjoy our weekend, man. Got to think about it for the next 2 weeks. Let's let it die for a little bit.
Yeah, as if he'd pre-written that statement, thinking that we were going to lose.
Yeah, it's just.
I agree with you on that. I agree with you. We won 3-0, and I remember the Fleming dig as well. I think it was in the News at Den article. Like, I didn't want to tell Fleming, and also then like the one in South London Press saying, "I don't even know the serve was." Like, I agree with you. Some of it is not needed, especially after 3-0 win. I do agree with that.
I get his frustration. But I said I think, as you both said, have your say and shut up. Do your job. Stop us conceding 3-4 goals a game, and then if you don't think you've been back, then we can talk about it after. But
see, the thing is, what
he's whipped people up into a frenzy, and now what we've got is a
100%.
situation where we've got a player that's been bought for big money,
Yeah.
that's then injured, and people are sitting there having meltdowns on Twitter because really, if the manager sit there and I don't say instigate it, but it's caused a lot of angst, hasn't he? He's been at the heart of a lot of negativity, I think, in his own little way. Whether that's on purpose, I don't know, but it's what's happened as a byproduct. And he does need to own that. And I think if you can love him whilst accepting that is the fact of the situation.
I'm sorry, we're going to go into this. This is our merchandise man, yeah? And, oh, no, wrong one. It's that one. He said, good evening, I'm Mickey, Omar, and Stephen's better looking brother.
I'll take that.
Set the bar quite low, Frankie, mate.
I think the thing is that, listen, look, Daily Mill, the press ask him, he answers. Listen, Neil Harris has been through probably so much media training over the years that he knows how to address media. And if there's a question he doesn't want to answer, he won't answer it. It's as simple as that. So the press asking questions, he answers them. I don't necessarily fall into that. The point is that people are going, well, Gallen doesn't speak to the fans. Well, nor did fucking Alex Aldridge. So I won't have that either. All I'm saying is it's the same as what you said, Frankie. Yeah,
he's not saying that. He's just saying that Harris is the one that has to front the media. That's what we're saying.
Yeah, but he can say what he wants.
Director of football do get such a free ride at football clubs up and down the country. They're in control of so much, and no one ever hears from the fuckers, and it is insane. But that's not a Millwall problem. That's a football problem. We ain't fixing that. You're
more than welcome to come on if you want to come on at any points, Steve Gallen. Absolutely any point whatsoever, mate. Just give me a call. It's fine. Max knows my number, so yeah.
You'll make that.
But yeah, I'm not slagging Neil Harris. I think Neil Harris is a legend, right? And I think he was by far the best man to take us last year into the relegation fight what we had. I'm not slagging him at all. I just think that the Neil Harris, I just think it's not the Neil Harris I just think that, I just think the Neil Harris is better than that. If I'm honest, I think it's better. I think that but I would have thought he was been better. No, listen, we're not going to get onto that. I understand where you're coming from on that completely, and I sort of agree.
Honestly, I think he's a great bloke. He's done great things for the club. This is the same guy that lost his temper at the end of Gillingham when they got relegated and said, "Not one of these players will be here next season." Fundamentally, that squad will still there.
I see what you're saying there. Yeah, I forgot all about that.
That's not Harry's character. I'm sure he's a great bloke. I'm sure he's a lovely geezer, but maybe this media train, maybe needs a little bit more of it. Do you know what I mean? Or just take 5. I don't know.
Maybe also with his frustrations though, because if you look at the first 3 games prior to our win on Saturday, I know we're a victim of the market where we're not the big players in there, and we had to bide our time and wait for it as suddenly they all became available and we got the players. But you could argue if we had 3 or 4 of the players that we've got towards the end of the window, if we managed to get Aziz over the line prior to the start of the season, if we managed to get Coburn over the line prior to the start of the season, you could argue we could be sitting on 9 points or 12 points even. And I think that's his frustration, Harris. If we're trying
but he would have been involved, didn't he?
Sorry?
He would have been involved. I mean, the problem is with...
He would have known about it, but he's frustrated.
The thing is with Murray. Yeah, but the frustration what he's got is that Coburn was the player, I heard it weren't necessarily the player what he wanted. I heard it was someone else who was sitting there looking for it for a while. But he come out and said, it's a player what I wanted. It's a player this, that, and the other. Well, Borough weren't going to release him until they signed the other player they wanted. That signed late, so we didn't get him. And when they offered him for way too high, if that was last year's lot of people there, they would have just gone, fuck it, we're not paying nowhere near that money, walk away. But no, we went and looked, and then Steve Gallen went, well, if we can't buy him, can we loan him? So we got him, and it's a player we wanted. We got him. Yeah, it took longer, but hey-ho, we still got that player when we could have walked away.
His initial frustrations were, though, we've got a squad that's not ready for the season. So you can't knock him for that, because it was clearly there to see. Like, the players we had were short.
Yeah, and Dan Riggs again will come in, and me and anyone else who was there. But, you know, it was quite comical at the fans forum. Gallen did turn around and say that we've got a big squad. You know, so I can get his frustration.
To a degree. In some areas, the squad is over-encumbered with absolute shite. So we've got a lot of centre-backs, for example. None of them any good, other than the first.
We've still got, we got 7 players, and 6 or 7 players that Neil Harris signed when he was here last. And they're still here earning a wage. You know, Murray Wallace, Bradshaw, etc. So, yeah, hey-ho, it is. Should we get on to the Serbian bit now, then? That seems another fucking absolute crock of fucking chaos this week, doesn't it? Before we do that, I'm going to play a break video, and then we'll go on to that, yeah?
All right,
all right with that? Yeah, you can go. Definitely don't have enough time to go have a piss, so, yeah, don't worry. Where the fuck is that?
Hurry up, all day.
Don't fucking start on me, sunshine. There we go. We've lost.
He's got to probably get the re-up on beers. Get the re-up.
Yeah, that's it.
Get the re-up. Down with that one. Get the re-up. I've got my bit. I have my 4-pack sitting next to me. We're 3 for 4. Here we go. Cheers, everyone. So, yeah. Everyone having a beer? Remember lockdown days? This is well wait for Frank to come back. Remember lockdown days? Do
you know what? Do you know I spoke to last week? Good evening, if you're watching. I know you do watch. Good evening, Neil. Neil, I spoke to Neil last week. I haven't spoken to him. Neil wants to know, Omar, if one Friday night he can come on and we go back to the old days for a one-off
100%.
show.
Roll it back. 100%. Run it back.
Yeah,
what are we drinking today? Ron in the chat. Come on. What's
on
the Stellars?
If you've not watched us from the beginning, when we first did this on a Friday night during lockdown, every start of every game was basically Omar was, what you drinking? And then everybody told us what they were drinking in the thingy. So yeah, it's
what's everyone drinking? What are you drinking today, Frankie, mate? What's that?
Outland Badger Hazy IPA.
There you go. Hazy.
Is that Beavertown?
It's not. No, I've done them earlier.
Oh, okay. I've got a little fact for you for Beavertown. When I worked for a pipe company, I sold all the pipe work what went into Beavertown over in near Tottenham. Yeah, Tottenham. And also the guy who owns Beavertown, his dad is Robert Plant.
Cool story, bro.
It's true. And you know who Robert Plant is, don't you? Omar.
I don't know who Robert Plant is.
He's a guitarist for fucking hell. I do know what it is now, and I fucking just as I went to say it, it's fucking gone out of my head. Oh my god! No, someone will say it in the comments anyway.
English singer and songwriter for Led Zeppelin, of course. I know he is.
That's it.
Yeah, I know the name.
Don't ever come up with a pub quiz. So glad I dialed into that.
When he done the launch, when he opened the brewery bit over there, his dad was there. So yeah, it's all a bit of a thing. So yeah.
Some of the comments, by the way, tonight.
There you go. Look.
No, like it's guitarist for the Spice Girls, mate.
Yeah, guitarist for the Spice. Yeah, fuck off, Jonathan. I can be laying that pipe for years. Right, I'm gonna let you in, and then I'm gonna go grab a can of Coke in a second as well. But right, what the fuck? And mate, I've got no idea who you are, by the way. Right, I've got no idea. You definitely don't have a real account, and I'm not going to say what your account is. But there's someone on Twitter who's basically thrown a few messages over the last few days about this saga and whatnot going on, and I've got no idea if it's true or not. But yeah, I mean, you two, your thoughts of the last few days, week. I know, Frankie, you probably want to go first. You've had a few issues, what you've been saying on Twitter. Do that. I'm going to go get this, and then I will say what's been said, and I will give it a massive caveat of going. I have no idea if it's true, bullshit, real, but it is a fucking episode of EastEnders, and I will tell you it in a minute. Okay.
The backstory for everyone who's not aware is Ivanovic is injured, or is he injured? We've signed a £2.5 million Serbian 19-year-old wonder kid who has supposedly in his medical flared up an injury. Millwall think he's injured. He's gone to Serbia international duty. He's then been released from Serbia international duty because he's injured, but they think he wasn't injured at first, or is he injured? No one knows. But go on, Frank, take it away, mate.
Well, he's injured, isn't he?
Well, you assume so.
He is because he's been sent home.
But maybe they're just complying to Millwall or trying to keep a good relationship up.
No chance.
God knows.
His company's medical. He was already called up to the national team. They've had a look at him, which is absolutely their right to do, like legally. And if we was to recall him, I think they could then dictate that he can't then play a certain amount of games after, can't they?
Right.
According to like sort of laws with Premier League sides and stuff. It's not uncommon at all. Like England called up Cole Palmer, Chelsea's injury, he's gone back.
Yeah.
It's not.
But he was pictured just to bring a bit more fuel to the fire, though, mate. And I agree with you. Players turn to international duty. Clubs, international teams will assess the player. But this isn't an established international player. This is a 19-year-old kid that's not even played for Serbia's first team before. It's an old injury from previous times and supposedly healed over, or I don't know the ins and outs of it. But been pictured in the training gear on the pitch. So it suggests he has trained as well. That's it. So I agree with you. There is players that turn up to duty, then get sent home, or their medical team will assess it as well. Then they'll go, yeah, fact check it. It's to be all right with us. We agree with you. But for him to be pictured in training gear and on the pitch, I don't know. There's more to it than meets the eye for me.
It's probably just a shit FA, mate. I'm not funny. It's the same country where I want to say Mitrovic and Vlahovic, the two proper strikers, have both not been called up for political reasons, like for United manager or something like that. Don't really know the ins and outs of it, so I might be wrong. But who knows what's going on? It's probably nonsense on their end, isn't it? But regardless of what it is, like there was some of the reaction, the amount of drama over that 24-hour period was absolutely fucking insane.
Yeah. It's true.
All the conspiracy theories.
The thing is, though, even I like. Go on.
Someone's just texted me and said, Frankie, your lookalike, mate, you must be liked, mate, for them to give you a lookalike so fucking soon, right? Mate.
Can I guess it?
Yeah, go on.
It's got to be Zac Efron, isn't
it? No. Omar will put it up when you, Omar, or shall I do it?
I'll do it if you want. It's been sent to me too, but I just have to do it out. But I've got it. Yeah.
Right. Do you want to know? Do you want me to know bits of what I've been told about from this fucking mad Twitter account?
I personally don't agree with this lookalike, by the way. I don't know where this one's. I don't see it. You're laughing. I don't see it. I do
see it. Oh yeah. Look at the picture. It does. Yeah. When you put it up,
I see it. It's coming now. It's going to be in the next 5 seconds before you start to learn about it. So we'll start this.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
That was too quick. You've got to count slower than that, mate. 5, 4, 3. I don't see it. I'm not seeing that at all. Yeah, Frankie, I'm with you, mate. Don't worry.
I think it's probably
like James Corden or something. Do you know what I mean?
I've seen James Corden be shouting in the chat a few times tonight.
Yeah, there's been there, or a young Gordon Ramsay.
I don't see it. But chat, do we see it? I don't see the lookalike here with Frankie. I'm not having it.
Let's show Frankie the love and just tell us who you think his lookalike is. So yeah,
to be fair, mate, I've been called Harvey Price on multiple occasions. Again, I don't see it either. So.
It's not a million miles away, mate.
Mate, fucking what's his name on Twitter, mate? Lions Raw 69 or whatever his name is, mate. Keeps fucking finding bald-headed people and posting them on Twitter going, Mickey's on the chase, Mickey's here, Mickey's there, Mickey's there. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, like, mate, fuck off, leave me alone. But yeah, so yeah, this fella reckons that basically, I don't even know if he's a fella, to be fair. I've got no idea.
Is this account, the Serbian account?
Yeah, mate, I've got no idea.
Everyone's seen it because he's the one that posted the video of him.
No, not him. It's another. There's another account, yeah, with numbers.
One.
Right? Yeah, in our DMs, mate. Right. But basically, he reckons that the Serbian FA didn't believe that he was injured. So he went basically over. Millwall's allegedly sent the player to go see the team and soak up the atmosphere and everything else. They basically said, we don't believe he's injured, done it. Then went, oh, it's not an injury, it's fine, he's fine. And we're going to play him. So the player was then, oh, what do I do? And then I think there was a bit of a who's got the biggest pair of bollocks between Serbia, Millwall, and the English FA or whatever, the EFL, whatever it is, and basically went, oh, okay, maybe he's injured, and we won't take the risk. But it just seems all fucking madness. I mean, they're desperate to play him, but
you've got to feel for the kid, you know. He's been signed for a new club, transfer, called up to his national team, and he's finds an 8-week injury you knew nothing about.
So Millwall done a tweet with the picture of him in training gear, wearing boots, by the way, as well, which is my point as well, which was weird. We're proud that go on, Mickey, say his name, Mihailo Ivanovic.
It's Milo, isn't it?
Milo Ivanovic.
Mihal. It's Mihal. Sorry, Mihal.
What? Mihalia?
Yeah, Mihal. Yeah, I don't think you totally own it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I'm thinking.
Just say fucking hard Serbian bastard.
Can we give him an English name? Can we give him an English name?
We just called him Mick. Serbian Mick. A Bermondsey name. There we go. From now on, he is known as Serbian Mick.
There we go. Done. So we're proud that Serbian Mick's talent and hard work has been recognised to represent Serbia's national team at just 19 years old. Serbian Mick was identified earlier this summer as a player with incredible potential, and we are delighted to have signed him on a long-term contract. During a series of extensive medical tests, the club identified a potential short-term metatarsal injury, which could be managed in London with the best care. Our medical team is of the belief that a period of rehabilitation is in the best interest of Serbian Mick, and knows his national team will take great care of him. The club remain in constant contact with the Serbian FA. We wish Serbian Mick the very best during his first of many call-ups with the national team, and we look forward to seeing him in a Millwall shirt over the coming months. But he trained with them. Let's have it right. So that, to me, suggests that they haven't come out and criticised the Serbian FA because they're very careful not to...
I heard that the injury... The same thing he reckons that the injury is old.
So, but they've not come out and tarnished their relationship with the Serbian FA. They haven't. But they're very careful there, saying we have the belief of this, we think this. It's suggested they think otherwise in that. If you read between the lines, I take that as the medical arbiter team believe this, but their Serbian FA believe this. That's how
that's exactly how I was told, that the Serbian didn't believe and they wanted to check, and they basically said it's.
But eventually he's been released. But obviously
he's still there. I think he's still there.
But he's apparently gone back. Apparently he's been released from the squad, so he's not playing. So he didn't feature.
But I think he's watching, so I still think he's with the team. So yeah.
So I just wonder. Sorry, mate.
If he was at his old club and they were saying he's absolutely fine, and then suddenly he turns up at Agath and we're going out 8 weeks, I don't really blame him for turning around and going.
But again,
thank you very much.
But again, if there was this sort of hoo-ha about it, again, why is Neil fucking telling the world that he's injured? When if Neil hadn't have come out and told the world he was injured, right? None of this would have been a story. We wouldn't even fucking know about it.
But maybe Neil was just, I don't know, maybe Neil just wanted to vent his disappointment that we signed him and he's injured. He wished he had him in the squad straight away.
Mate, you and I know, mate, how secretive that fucking club is. And they would never have wanted it coming out. And the way that Neil didn't just go, oh, yeah, no, really sad news. The new guy we've signed is, a bit injured. It was basically, so what's your thoughts on the summer signing? Yeah, great, we've got a Serbian who's fucking injured. Do you know what I mean? It was like that. It wasn't those words. I'm paraphrasing, but it was like that, wasn't it? I swear, Daily Millwall, mate, is Neil Harris. Next time I go to the game, mate, Neil Harris is gonna walk up and chin me in the car park. So if I get a black eye and it's from Neil Harris, we all know that I've asked for it. So yeah, do you know what I mean?
If he was a Serbian though, reading that post match from Neil, you'd be absolutely fucking raging as well. He's basically telling me, I've never seen him play, didn't want the kid, not interested. See you later.
This is what I'm saying. The Serbian FA put him in the team. The Serbian FA named him in the team. And would they have named him in the team if they knew he was injured?
Here we go. Look, Bobby. Just seen Milo leaving Catford 5-a-side. No, he was at Catford Dogs, mate. He thought the track was still there, but it's gone now. But no, listen, I don't know. it stinks, and it is a soap opera. You're right. It is like I'm waiting for the dum 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 to kick in now. Like it is. It's a soap opera playing out in front of our eyes. It's a mess from Millwall. It's a PR
messy.
disaster.
It's messy, but no one would care if you didn't have a manager moan every week. If there wasn't already people sitting there getting out their proud about
and comments like that. That's the thing. It's comments like that, right? Where listen, I understand what you're saying, but it's like our record signing and he's injured. Yeah, but do you know what? If he'd have played yesterday, and they'd have played him whatever, and he played yesterday, and it's the fact that he's in the national team and potentially will go on playing, because it's not like England where they have so many people to choose from. They obviously rate him in the Serbian team, and he's going to play. All that's going to do is put his value up. Every game he plays is going to increase his value. And we've, yes, okay, we paid a bit for him, and I think we got a good deal with him. But we've just got someone's just texted actually and said that. Oh yeah, no, I won't put that there. I won't say that. Then I will tell you afterwards. I won't. I was just reading it, and then the last bit from obviously someone who is quite connected, and I won't necessarily read that, but you know who it is who's just texted me. But yeah, it's just I just think, listen, it's our best site. It's our best fucking transfer window in a long time. We are looking fucking good on the pitch. Yes, we've had 2 clean sheets now. We've had, scored. We've had a lot of goals going in the first 2 games.
Transfer window on paper, by the way. Ask me again in a year's time if it's been our best transfer window.
It's been our best transfer window by so far, apart from when Goddard signed, maybe, I don't know. But I'm joking.
It's probably our best one
since we brought the Russians.
I'm excited about it, but let's say we can't say it's our best window until.
Well, I was excited when we got Conor Mahoney, but Matt Smith.
Exactly.
That season was dog shit. So
exactly. Do you know what I mean? Like I was excited when we signed. What was his face? Alan Campbell last summer. I was buzzing when we got Alan Campbell in. Look at the state of him last season for us.
That's on you, mate.
Yeah, that's on you. You've been drinking. That's it. No more alcohol for Omar.
I was though. I was
Taxi
excited.
For Omar.
But the point is like the early signs are very good and positive, but it's still you got to wait. You got to reserve judgment. It's been good on paper, but let's see how it plays out on the field.
Also, our firm, mate. You imagine, right? If this Serbian guy, hits the ground running when he comes back, right? No, just say, right, he hits the ground running. Yeah. Say, for instance, he hits the ground running, Coburn hits the ground running, Langstaff hits the ground running, right? Scores shitloads of goals, we get to the Premiership. I would just say the Premiership teams out there start shitting your pants, because now we've got a fucking Serbian firm coming over to join and fucking having it in the Premier League with us.
I noticed one thing on Saturday. I sit in South Lower. I didn't see any Dutch. And the South Lower is normally notorious for the tourists to turn up. We've lost Fleming. He's not played this season. There's no Dutch in sight.
Good luck, Burnley.
Let's see the Serbians turn up in a couple months' time. I'm ready for it when he starts banging the goals in. You're right. I'm excited. But there was hardly any tourists. I've noticed the crowd felt a bit less on Saturday as well. Different topic, but yeah, like we'll have to see. But obviously, when the Serbs start to turn up, our firm will be handy, like you say, Mickey.
If any Serbian nutters are watching, we all love Serbia, Mick, by the way.
Yeah.
So don't be coming to my door, please.
Serbia is my second team after England. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I love them.
Yeah, Serbia, brilliant, absolutely superb.
Yeah, we love the Serbian ultras.
We're happy to come out there and do a show out there. If you take us to your best derby game, that would be great. That'd be great, wouldn't it? I'd have to go to Argentina, I think, and do Boca and that. Go out there and see some of these. We think Millwall West Ham's a naughty derby, but imagine going out to Argentina and seeing Boca Junior and all that.
They got some good lager in Serbia as well. I'll tell you. So I'm a big fan. Big fan of Serbia.
You went out there to watch England, didn't you?
What, Serbia?
Yeah, didn't you?
No, I've not been to Serbia. No, but I've tried that lager before. I think it's called Dogma, or something. I think it is that. Good lager. 10 out of 10. Would recommend. They are unhinged lot, but we've adopted them now as our own, Chris.
Go on, Frankie. What you gonna say?
No, I was gonna say I went to Fortuna Sittard game last year. I won absolutely fucking shit.
Did you?
Yeah. I think I'll be swerving a weekend away in Serbia, to be honest with you.
I actually really wanted to go over to Fortuna this time with the whole Zian thing. I wanted us to have a friendly out there because they came over last summer. And I was thinking, especially now we've had this kind of relation where we went to Mercy and stuff, I want us to play in Europe a few times. I want us to go to Holland or to, you know.
They didn't have a club shop or a pub in the ground. The only thing near the ground was McDonald's.
Oh, wow.
Just thousands of Fortuna fans that all drinking lattes.
What was the atmosphere like?
Oh, but they lost 2-0, so not quite.
I think, yeah, possibly, but I think you're not going to get it
before you apply to it. Rob Quinn, we need a proper club statement from Millwall to clarify the situation clearly and consciously, concisely.
Yeah.
Oh, right, yeah.
Situation the route is with Milo as to avoid all speculation. I agree.
I don't know if we can get it, but you can agree what you want. But yeah,
and would people listen to it anyway? If they release a statement, would people sit and take it on face value?
No, because people will say it's a. Yeah, people would just come out and go, "Oh yeah, the club's still hiding stuff." So that I mean, so you can't.
You cynical bunch of bastards, you two.
Fuck off. Do you know what I mean?
You cynical bunch of bastards.
All right, look, we've done our topics, and then so I think we've pretty much done the topics. Is there anything else you want to talk about, or can we get on to a little bit of fun for the last 20 minutes or so?
Get on to a little bit of fun, mate. Go for it.
Cool. Omar's got a small penis.
How do you know that?
I don't know why I said that.
No complaints, mate. No complaints. Thank you.
No, I thought it fair. So, Omar, and in the chat, get in the chat as well. As we've been talking about transfers for a bit, who is your most favourite ever signing over the time you've been following Millwall?
You put me on the spot fucking big time here, mate.
It's weird, isn't it? Because I fucking texted you earlier.
Yeah, I didn't.
Frankie will be on the spot. No, Freddie didn't. Frankie didn't get a text, so he is really put on. So you can think why Omar is under pressure. In the chat, go on, give him a couple of hands. He's probably going to say Fabrini, probably, but you know, we'll see what's
Fabrini failed at Millwall, but Fabrini's the only player I've seen do a flip flap in the Millwall shirt. So for that, he held his own iconic status. My all-time favourite Millwall signing, it's either David Ford or Jimmy Abdu, and they both joined the same window. Kenny Jackett. Like, you know, we talk about putting faith in a manager to sign players. Kenny Jackett spot the player from a mile off. And in my time, I've only been going since 2000 onwards, really, for Millwall. I think the signings he made when, you know, to kind of kick us on to the next level, also the sustainability of both of them and how long they were here for, both free transfers as well. Abdu from Plymouth, Fordy from Cardiff. He was on loan at Bournemouth before he came to us. I think them two, for me, in my lifetime, stick out as top sides. But then you could go to more recent times. Jed Wallace, you know, what he'd done for us, obviously a loan sign at first. George Saville, I've loved George Saville, his 3-4 spells for Millwall. But no, I think for me, it's a toss-up between David Ford and Jimmy Abdu, mate. There you go, in my lifetime.
Got it, Frankie.
If you're talking about the excitement when they signed, it could be Tanganga. So I was over the moon we signed him. I was sitting there listening to that program all day. It's all about how they turned out. Probably Steve Morrison. What a player.
Yeah. You're a Morrison fan then, mate? What about his personality as well? Or...
Oh, he's a big wanker, yeah.
He is.
Yeah,
that's why he sent us to the ground. He was a wanker and he knew it. He didn't care.
Yeah, he wouldn't tell you otherwise, isn't it?
As long as he'd live on the pitch.
Yeah, mine is Chris Woods.
What a cunt. Some good answers in here, by the way. Dion Dublin. He was only for a short time. Who's our best ever loan signing? Probably Chris Wood.
And also, I mean, one day we should do. Yeah, Harry Kane was a thing. Yeah,
but then Harry Kane didn't really do it at first. It took him a while to get going in that 6 month spell.
I tell you, we should do a show one day on an award, like an award show as such, as in probably with Ricardo Fuller for the biggest miss kick ever, with the ball that went over the stadium, and it's probably still in outer space now.
I think he was trying to score at the Old Den that day.
I think he was too. Do you know what I mean?
He went over Carmelo Lane to the old stadium plot. Honestly, I think he was trying to score one of the goals at Carmelo Lane that day.
Was that worse than Zahor, though?
Sorry?
Was that worse than Zahor when he had a shot from front?
Yeah, that's true. Against Preston, wasn't it, in lockdown? I think, but with Fuller that day, I think he scored twice that day. I think we played against Wolves. I think he scored 2. We made a comeback. I think Gregory got 1. and Fuller scored 2. But everyone remembers that chance where he went over the south stand. So yeah, I mean,
John Parr, I don't think that will happen now. Kavanagh and Co aren't here. I don't think that will happen.
Morrison, next Mill manager. God. He's doing all right at Sutton, though, isn't he, so far this season, I think? I think he's doing all right.
Second in the league, I think.
Yeah.
Super Neil Harris, Tim Cahill, and Keller. Ian Stewart.
But the first time we got Ben Marshall on loan, fucking hell, what signing he was.
What signing he was. Yeah, he was. What about you, Mickey? Best signing of all time for Mill in your time?
I don't know. I think probably the same. I think I pretty much Jimmy Abdou would be definitely one. I mean, players who've gone on to do something called the old throwing man, wasn't it?
Adrian Surrox, yeah.
Yeah.
Or Surrox.
Syria, yeah.
Syria. That's it.
I think, Mickey's era, fucking Harry Cripps. Yeah, okay, funny fella.
It was more Barry Kitchener, Dan. Don't worry about that, mate. Brian Hall in goal.
I don't know. I mean, I think there's been a few, but I don't know who my favourite is.
Wait, hang on. You prepped a fucking question. You don't even have an answer for us.
I don't need to. It's more to the group and whatnot, mate. Alex Ray was good. I like Alex Ray. I talk to Alex Ray now and then. So yeah, Alex Ray is
Ben Thompson from Tim Kelly. I mean, Ben Thompson was a youth player, but unless there's another Ben Thompson you want about there. Do you want to know a fun fact, Mickey? I'm going to Colchester away tomorrow, Bromley. There you go.
Yeah?
I'm going Colchester away tomorrow. So we're getting the band back together.
Are you going with our forever friend Kai?
I am going with our forever friend Kai. Yes, I'm going to Colchester. Been Colchester a couple of times. Not looking forward to it, but I'm looking forward to the day out regardless. Colchester away. Let's go.
Tony Towner was a good thing. Oh, now there was a good call.
Huckabee for a loan signing. Huckabee, yeah, unbelievable. Didn't he get his big move to Coventry afterwards or something like that? I'm pretty sure that's what happened with Huckabee. He was on loan from City, I think, and then went to Coventry. Could be wrong.
And there was another super signing there, wasn't it, eh?
Jiri Skalak. What about the worst ever signing for Mill then? Worst ever signing, you probably will be Jiri Skalak or someone like that we've invested money into. It never worked out. Connor Mahoney. There were some clangers that summer from Harris. I know we spoke about it a little bit earlier, didn't we, Frankie? But yeah, like to invest money in a player. I think Paul Goddard also was our record signing for many years. He didn't hit the ground running, but that's going back before my time. But
there you go.
Anyone that comes to mind, Frankie?
Bob Peters.
Oh, Bob Peters. Fucking hell, what a shit player.
Yes, he was. Fucking hell. 6'6" and couldn't win a header.
Yeah, Belgian Bob.
What about Gary Fletcher Taylor?
Gary Fletcher Taylor, yeah.
That's what someone's put there. Dan Riggs, look, not me. No,
Gary Taylor Fletcher, not Gary Fletcher Taylor, mate.
Oh yeah, Gary Taylor Fletcher, yeah. So yeah, the two Russians. I don't know how did they either. So
I remember them.
Gifton Noel Williams. He played one game for us under Kelly Jackett. Darren Holdley's answer there. He played one game under for us, and then afterwards disappeared. I remember being excited when he signed for us as well because I think he had a spell at Yeovil or something before that. But the era at the time was like, yeah, here we go. Because he was kind of on the same level as like the likes of Ricky Lambert, Joe Kaffour at Bristol Rovers. And then we get Gifton Noel Williams and like, yeah, proper. And then he played one game and disappeared off the face of the earth. Noel Whelan from Bobby, I like that one. Nathan Ashton, don't know, I think like years back that one, unfortunately.
Scott McDonald, who's nephew or uncle in it.
Who? What?
Is one of the players. Colburn's player, isn't he? No, he's related to. Yeah, he is. I think he's related.
Scott McDonald's an Aussie. He's Australian. Scott McDonald.
So who am I thinking?
Isn't he? Might have some roots there.
I don't know. Where else? Oh, there you go. Yeah, look, there you go. Kelly's godfather.
Who? Scott McDonald?
Yeah, Kelly's godfather.
Fucking hell. I had no scoop about that. I mean, he played for Celtic, didn't he, years ago? Interesting. What? Scott McDonald's Kelly's godfather? Jesus, I'm learning it all today. Josh Simpson. He was decent, Josh Simpson. I liked him. Winger, left-footed. I liked him on the left of the middle.
I tell you what, we're gonna throw it. Rob Hulse. We're gonna throw it in here, right? Stephen Jones. Best transfer ever. Stephen Jones. Worstest thing. Yeah, put your worst in there as well, mate. But obviously, just put worst beforehand. So yeah. But here's one then. In the chat, give a Millwall question to see if Omar can not answer it. It's got to be fairly modern from probably 2000 onwards. But see if because Omar, a lot of them there. He's got, oh yeah, he's a left, winger with a left foot. Blah blah blah. Also, if anyone wants to buy a fixture cup, a Millwall fixture cup, then get in touch. Drop us an email at info@thatmillwallpodcast.co.uk and we will obviously send your details over.
I like that question from Gaz Lyon. It was Danny and Gesson. We played last game of the season at home. There you go. Danny and Gesson came on as a sub, got booed off, and was walking off as he came off as a sub.
I'm not putting it out, Lou.
Put it up.
It's in the chat. You can see
Gaz Lyon, am I right? Am I right? I'm pretty sure it was Danny and Gesson. I think it was against... Ooh. Don't know who it was against. What country did Denzel play for? Trinidad and Tobago. I don't think he ever actually played for them.
Oh, he's on fire now. There is a new feature coming, by the way. If you do want to buy a cup, just put in the subject bar, want to buy a cup. But if you want, going forward, there's a few things changing. Obviously, it's a video show there. As of the 15th of September, we are going with some new shows. And Friday's going to be getting into a little bit more fun and whatnot. And we're looking to do a little competition of getting someone on and answering a few questions on Millwall. And if you basically get through them, then you'll stay to the end of it. You'll basically go through. But obviously, if you don't answer them all, then it's done. And if we can get a couple of you to the end, we'll do a little final at the end of the month, and then basically one of you will win a prize. So if you're interested in getting involved in the competition, drop us an email for now, info@, and just say, yeah, I'm up for answering questions. It'll basically be like what Frankie is. You'll come on, you'll be asked 5 questions. If you get the 5 questions all the way right, then basically you'll be put into the final and you'll go up against someone the following week. But if you don't, then we just get another. So we need a couple of you because obviously it's a live show, and in case you're really shit, then we'll throw you off.
I know that's this one. Who got injured taking the bins out, Mickey? Frankie, either of you two? Who got injured taking the bins out?
I know who this is, but I can't think. It's
Sean
recent as well.
Sean Hutchinson got injured taking the bins out.
How did he get injured taking the bins out?
He gashed his leg, mate, and he missed the game. I remember it going around. He proper gashed his leg and opened it up, and he missed the game. Sean Hutchinson. Come on.
We got a postman that tells us what's what, so yeah.
You got what?
We got a postman that told us about Hutch, so yeah.
I've got a question for you.
Go on.
What ex-Millwall player tried to stab his teammate and then got released by the club?
Allegedly. Allegedly.
Was it Grant, the striker?
It was a striker. It weren't Grant. And the person that he allegedly tried to stab is also a striker that played in the FA Cup final.
Oh, was it? No, it wasn't. Was it? It weren't McCammon, was it?
That's who he went after, yeah, apparently.
I know the name. Oh, there you go, chat. Who's going to get that one? I know the name. It's escaping me now.
He played for West Ham, Watford, and everyone else after.
It's going to bother me because I remember the story going around. Oh, Mustache Cody. Yeah, Mustache Cody. That's it. Yeah, Mustache Cody. That's it. Ash Cody. He was like a wonder kid, wasn't he? No, China Samba was the wonder kid as well. China Samba was the one that everyone was like ranting and raving about. Football Manager God.
Yeah, we done a show. You remember back, and I'm going to dig into the votes and release because when we first started with during lockdown, and we'll have to get Nick, we'll get Fizzler on to do one with us, but I think going forward, we're probably digging because he did a lot of shows with us. But back in the day, we used to record on here. We used to do a live show here. Then we never used to let it run on YouTube. We used to then stop it after we recorded it and then release it as a podcast only. But going through some bits and pieces over the last few weeks, I found a lot of the original footage of like Cherno Samba interview, Alex Ray interview, and others. And they're really good. And yeah, we'll end up putting them out onto YouTube because they've not been gone out. So yeah, we do that. Worst signing was Lurch on the credit card. Fucking hell, allegedly. That's another bullshit rumour, wasn't it? Do you know what I mean? So yeah. So yeah, no, I'm fully agreeing with you. So yeah, right then.
Wait, I got this one. I'm ready for another one. What team? I was at this game, but I forgot the kit. We had to play. So Sheffield Wednesday away. Adrian Wilson forgot the kit. Sheffield Wednesday away. We wore their away kit for the first half. Steve Lomas was the manager. We wore a yellow kit, and I was at the game. I think we
Nothing like throwing. Adrian is a nice man, and you just threw him straight under the bus.
It's common knowledge, mate. First half, we had to wear their kit. Second half, we came out in orange. I went to that game.
There was a side that forgot their kit when they played against us as well at the Den, and that's where our third kit. It was the yellow one with the blue stripe down one side.
Yeah, years and years ago.
I know it was, but I'll give you 5.
I can't remember that one. But yeah, I was at that game, Lions Raw.
And that's Trevor Francis.
Finished 2-2.
That's
Was
Trevor
we 2-0
Francis.
down that day, Lions Raw? Did we? Sean Derry played, Andy Keogh, Scott McDonald. What a team, by the way. Steve Lomas, mate. The amount of players he signed that summer. Richard Chaplow.
All on free transfers.
Yeah.
Can I just say that person is the person I would love to be our next manager.
Me too.
I think he's top of the Chinese league at the minute, so I can't see it happening.
That's for Muscat, that is. That's for fucking Muscat.
And if you go on our YouTube, you'll find that there is, I think it's Darren Ward who was standing next to him when it happened, and he tells a story about it. So, yeah. Adrian Wilson, lovely bloke. Yeah,
he's top bloke. Used to sort my dad out. My dad sorted him out with a bacon sarnie, and he sorted my dad out in return. And I used to bacon from
him. Adrian, I've never, in all my connections within the club and everything else, I have never, ever had a match-worn shirt.
Bollocks.
It's not. I've never had one.
That's bollocks.
I have never, ever had one.
One before Mickey, just to wind him up. That'd be fantastic.
I've never had one. Yeah. Fucking yeah. I'm going to get your white one anyway. I'm going to get the white one before you. So yeah, that's a private thing, but if you're watching, you know exactly who you are. So yeah, start bidding for what? I'm not selling it. I want one. So yeah, I think we're pretty much done.
I think so too.
I don't think what's what. We will come back on Sunday. Where are we? Hang on, I've just fucking hell. Right, bear with me 1 minute. I've just got a text from our merchant giver who said your comp will do. Oh, right. Oh, on the back, the winner stays on, gets one. Okay, right. Oh, yeah. So I've just been given a prize for, if you enter the prize, there's a prize now, and then the winner gets more. So
the prize is a prize.
You have to go. We'll probably be back Sunday night, maybe this week, and then we won't. Then it'll all change. But maybe we come back and thinking we just reminisce. I think maybe we just come on and reminisce about your greatest memories, your favourite player, your funniest moment at Millwall, that sort of shit. Gillingham forgot their kit. Beat us.
That's it.
Myron King brace. Yeah.
Myron King.
So, yeah. And, yeah, did you see that as well before we move on? Adam May has been nominated for the Rising Star Award.
I didn't see that. Agent talk, probably, isn't it?
Yeah.
Next week, we do everyone's favourite moment. If it's not that Cardiff fan falling off the top tier, you're absolutely wrong. That was the best
do you know? And again, right on our YouTube, you can go in and listen to the interview. Who are you? We did with Alison. I think it's on there, or we can find it. But the funniest bit of that was he fell off the stadium. He fell off the top, hit the stop, hit the seats, right? And all he got out. All he got. Yeah, but funny you say that, right? And I'll come to that. All he got out of it was a broken finger, I think, or dislocated finger, right? But the funniest bit is that what you said there, Frankie. The 2 police officers from the Metropolitan Police thought the same and started giving the cunt CPR. So, in fact, he didn't just get a broken finger; he got a broken rib as well. But literally, they thought he was dead and started giving him CPR.
All I remember is people. We were losing, weren't we? And then we took the lead. Bellamy played for the time, and people started singing, "You only jump when you're winning." The ones we get a bad rap. Jesus Christ.
He didn't. He got literally. He was standing. He'd been giving it all this all the way through the game. He'd been giving the old cutthroat and all this all the way through the game. And then he was standing on the top, and they scored. I think they scored. And they all rushed forward, and fucking poor old fucking
unreal
Taffy boy just fell forward and went. Whoop! Yeah, but yeah, it was a copper what gave him CPR when he weren't dead. So yeah, that was quite comical. So yeah. Frankie, yeah, we'll possibly look on Sunday for the funniest moment. Yeah, Lomas as manager. Yeah, we'll do that on Sunday possibly. So yeah, we're while we're in international break maybe. So yeah, or maybe next Friday. Should we do it next Friday instead?
Good day.
Yeah, we'll do it next Friday because I've got a show potentially in the vault for Sunday. So yeah, we'll do next Friday, and we'll just do an hour and a half or so of just reminiscing, best player, best stories, that sort of stuff. So yeah, we'll do that. Frankie. Any final thoughts? Anything else, mate? How was it for you? Was it as bad as it was? Is it better watching it or being involved in it?
Probably being involved, mate. I reckon. Yeah, it's been enjoyable. I've enjoyed it. But I haven't read the comments yet, so can't see them. So I'll let you know in an hour's time.
They've been generous. They've been all right.
They've been all right, actually. So, yeah.
James called me a few times, mate, but aside from that, you've been all right.
Viewers, that's it. Those of you viewers there, mate, if you want to say anything about Frankie, how you think, rate Frankie for tonight's show. You can rate him out of 1 to 10 if you want. We won't tell you what either one of them means, but you can rate him. We won't say if 1's good or 10's good, but you can rate him if you rate Frankie. And if you want him back, just say, get Frankie back. So, yeah, we'll see what's what, piss take, because we won't listen to you, so it don't matter. But, Omar, have you got any final thoughts?
No, mate, all good. It's international break. Can't wait to see England beat Ireland tomorrow. All international treaty, right? But no, it's get us back to league action. Looking forward to it. I saw QPR tickets going on sale Monday. I made the lottery point cut off, so I'm looking forward to get my ticket. So, yeah.
Monica Jones, as Richie Stevens' mum, has ranked you 10.
There you go.
So yeah, to be fair though, Omar, right? His background does look a bit like Stevens' background, doesn't it?
A little bit.
He's got a blue wall.
He's right, actually. He's got a blue wall. Yeah.
Fucking hell, he's a viewer and a half, isn't he? So yeah. Oh mate, the comments are coming in now. So right, we've got 3J, we've got 10 out of 10. We've got get your hair.
I reckon it's aimed at me. I could be wrong.
I had a haircut yesterday. That's an absolute.
Yeah, I reckon it's definitely aimed at me, mate. I think you're safe there.
Chris Brown is saying Frankie did Stephen. We're not doing that. Always good to have a fresh perspective on all things Millwall. 10. Paul Edmund says 10. Get Frankie back. Gone nor mine. What?
Don't know.
No idea. You're in there, Frankie. So
I think that's the reply to Monica's 10 out of 10, mate.
Yeah, Monica wants to message me on Twitter.
Do you want to be Stephen's new stepdad?
Right, we'll call it there. I think we'll call it there.
Yeah, Richard, I'm not giving you an update. He left, mate. He's does his things. He's no longer part of us.
Upgrade, not update. Upgrade.
Yeah.
Anyway,
EI. What are we doing? Is that it? We're done.
We're done. Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate your times as always, and roll on next week when football's back. Missing it already.
Are you really?
Yeah, I am actually.
The beer, the football, or the away day experience? Oh, I don't know.
Oh, giddy up and get away. Oh, we're going Millwall and we're going today. Here we go. Rocking on.